Well, I'm here to take the Dixon challenge. I want to start off by saying that I'm an anti-racism, always have been, just never knew exactly what to call it. Um, I grew up in a really crazy family. My mom was an anti-racist, and my stepdad was a complete racist. I remember when Thriller came out, Michael Jackson was a big to-do, and my mom couldn't wait to bring the video home to me and my brother to watch. And as soon as my stepdad found out, he beat my mom up real bad. So bad she was in the hospital for a couple days. And we had to repanel the whole house before my grandparents came to eat dinner. So yeah, it was pretty bad. Um, I knew that behavior was wrong as a child, I guess because I had such a strong mother figure that didn't believe in it. She just kind of always attracted the wrong men, so for that I can't really blame her. Um, she did the best that she could do as a single mom. Even though she was married, he was still a piece of crap. So, and him trying to beat racism into us, I believe had an adverse reaction on me. Um, I always knew that racism was a big thing in our country. However, I never really knew what to call it. I always knew that white people were privileged. I always knew that, we have the Ku Klux Klan out here, and we have all these white supremacists out here that, believe that there's nothing equal from a white person, a brown person, a Spanish person, any colored skinned person. I always knew that we had that out here. I just never knew what to call it. So when I ran upon Dixon and his good friend Thea Wilson, which I also put on my Facebook, and I share them every day because the men are just, they're heroes to me, really. I've even had friends tell me that I was racist against my own people because I would share views with them, but I never really knew how to say it other than the fact that I lived it and I seen racism, and it's not a good thing. It's not. I can't say that I've ever felt it other than the fact that 17 years ago I started dating a man that I'm still currently with, and we have a daughter now. She's 14. Her name's Cheyenne. But I already had a white daughter. Well, I say white, but her nationality is actually Italian, Swedish, Norwegian, and Irish, which is me and her father's nationalities combined together. And then my youngest, of course, is Italian, Norwegian, Swedish, which is on my side, and her father is African American. Actually, he's his great great grandfather really 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 was an African, so she really has that gene real strong in her, and I couldn't be prouder. I have never, I remember my daughter, my youngest daughter, the biracial, Cheyenne. I remember her going on a field trip one time, and she was in second grade, and the only thing she could tell me about that field trip when she came home wasn't about the pretty flowers that I signed the paper to send her in, but was the fact that she learned about slavery and where the slaves slept and all these horrible things that I would never want my biracial child to hear from anyone other than me or her African American ancestors. I felt like in the educational system that was completely wrong and that they were wrong for allowing that to happen. And it scared the hell out of her, to be honest with you. She's had little boys ask her, why is her nose big? And I said, well, I said, did you ask him why his face looks like that? And she said, yeah, Mom. I said, good job. And I guess I never realized how much this country really is based and set up for the white culture. And I honestly believe that I never really knew what it was called because most of my friends are all of different ethnicities, every one of them. I don't use the N word. I don't think it's right. My mother raised me that when my friends came over, they couldn't say Nigga, slang for the other word. So she left the racist, thank God. She got away from him when I think I was 11 years old. And he was just a really, really bad person. But I do want to say that if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't end up have been the person that I am today because he completely pushed me away from that. And that doesn't always happen. It's usually the adverse reaction, which is what Dixon talks about, and how we grow up and we're conditioned to this, and this is what we're taught by our people. And it was that way with my stepfather. However, it was not that way with my mother. And I'll just be real honest with you. So that, I guess, is why I am more in tune with Dixon and his beliefs now, and who he is. I do know that white privilege is out there. I know that my white daughter has had opportunity handed to her that I know my black daughter would never have handed to her, ever. And I will tell you, at 8.5 years old, my youngest, which is biracial, she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And at the time, I was studying early childhood education. And it was almost like God said, and she'd already been bullied in school. Remember, she went and seen how slavery was, and they taught her all these great things about her African American culture. They didn't teach her about all the great things about African American culture. They just taught her about the slaves and where they lived and how they got fed when they worked. Like I said, I had never been so disgusted in my life with an educational system ever when that happened. They always say the race card, don't pull the race card. Yeah, I'm the white mom that pulls the race card on every damn thing I see. You hear me? Because it's prevalent and it's there, and I'm here to stand up. I will not let my daughter, I don't care what color her skin is, she could be damn it green. I will stand up for her. I will lay down for her. Do you understand me, nation? Do you understand me, United States? Do you understand me, fellow Americans? This is my child. These are people. I don't care what color you are. I love you regardless. And Dixon, he put this challenge out here for me, and this is a dangerous thing for me to do, because I deal with a lot of these people that don't share the same views that I do. And I don't care, because I know in my heart, I know what's right and I know what's wrong, and I always have. I do want to throw out there that